The Alternatives to Violence project was started 40 years ago by a group of Quakers who were going into the prisons in upstate New York. In Alaska, we have 15 trained community volunteer facilitators ready to go into the prisons and teach our messages of nonviolence communication.
It's an intense workshop.
What surprised me is how it changed my life to go into the prisons.
Through Hands of Peace, we do 18-hour experiential workshops teaching conflict resolution skills. That's an entire weekend, Friday evening through Sunday afternoon.
I heard about it through my friends. When they first tried explaining it to me, I was not really all about it because it's kind of touchy-feely, sharing your feelings, not really my thing. But once you get into it, once you're there, it's not what you think.
Communication, cooperation, conflict resolution, affirmation.
There's a rhythm to it where you re-enter, you dip in, and then you come back out in light and lively, and then so there's a rhythm to it so it's not always heavy and intense, but it's an evolving agenda. So we're constantly taking their feedback after each session, and then we're constructing the next segment somewhat on the fly.
Internally, I could feel the walls breaking down for me, my internal defenses. And when you break down your internal walls, you're able to build bridges and connect with people, which is the transformation, and it was for me, is because I wasn't on guard.
I took this one that says risk being creative rather than violent because I have a couple conflicts with a couple guys that I don't really see at the current time how to resolve these conflicts without it somehow turning into violence. And I know that I don't want to engage in the violence, so at this point I just have to avoid the guys.
Use surprise and humor. Because I've noticed, especially humor, just makes everything easier.
Was when my stepfather became a quadriplegic and my mother was home taking care of him alone, and I left my life, gave my life up to come home and be with him and help her. The rewards I got in spirituality, being there for him, enabled me to grow to love him, respect him, empathize with him, and care for him.
I think this is a really good thing to aspire to, because if you can find even just one or two good things about a person that you don't particularly like or you disagree with, then I don't know, I think that's somewhat transformative. And that's at the beginning of getting rid of your anger and connecting with something positive in somebody.
You have an opportunity to engage negatively with people or positively.
Let's go straight down to the ground. Put it on the ground.
It's supposed to go down. There we go.
Congratulations. Excellent job. That's called the helium pole.
I see healing happening, and it feels like the most important healing that I could possibly be doing.
I try always to talk, even if this topic is a little uncomfortable for that person. I prefer to just talk about it and get it out of the way, and that way relationships can improve if you actually put things on the table right away.
It's as simple as even counting from 1 to 10. And if I have to, I choose to walk away.
Okay, so silence is on both, isn't it? It's on our violence and our nonviolence.
And it's building community because you're doing it as a group, learning how we can each contribute to a group.
I've learned, in my life, listen before making judgments. A good one.
You're able to build a bridge and meet each other halfway.
Change can be scary.
We have lots of supplies and all of the volunteers are traveling because Alaska is a big state. We have to travel from great distances. It is really a challenge to pay for transportation, pay for hotels, pay for food, all of that. And we're volunteering our time, but we still need to have our expenses paid for to get there.
The expense of a 3-day workshop can be well over $3,000.
Any amount that you can give is great. It really helps us make this happen.
One, two, three! Woo! Thank you, everybody.